Ball State, Miami, Ohio. The other game, not so important, obviously, on Tuesday night in Maction. Miami O 3-point home favorites, 44 being the total in this game. When you look at this matchup here, Miami O and Ball State, both of these teams, 3-4 in conference play. Both of them, though, 5-6 overall. So while this isn't obviously MAC championship game, stakes or aspirations, bowl eligibility is at stake for both of these teams here in this game. So a pretty important game when you factor it in between Miami O and Kent State. Miami O comes back to beat Northern Illinois 29-23. It was a gutsy win, I guess you could say, for Miami O last week. Look, Avion Smith was the quarterback, not great, but the key was they got the run game going, and that made all the difference in the world against Northern Illinois, allowing them to pick up the victory in that game. Ball State, I'll tell you what, the game against Ohio last week, Curtis Rourke goes out. You think, Ohio in trouble. C.J. Harris played okay, and the Ball State defense still didn't have many answers, and their offense just didn't do enough. They lose 32-18 to Ohio last week in that game. We'll see if they can respond here this week against Miami O. When you look at the matchup here, I think for Ball State, they've been pretty balanced this year, run and pass. And I will say this, they've struggled a little bit more to defend the pass of Miami O. So that's definitely something that you would be a little bit concerned about here going into this game. The Miami O offense just hasn't been an offense that I've been overly impressed with this year. You look at on their home field, Conor Mack, it's not been a great home field for Miami O this year. They lose 37-21 at home to Ohio as 2-point home dogs, 7.5-point home favorites against Western Michigan. They lose the game outright 16-10. They only beat Kent State by 3, but specifically in the home favorites role. And then earlier in the year, Robert Morris, FCS opponent, laying a big number. They only won by 17. They've been bad in the home favorite role. In particular here, Miami O. I kind of lean Ball State here. I think it's a coin flip game. And in a game like this, I think you take the points with Ball State. You just hope Paddock has one of his good games, not one of his bad games. But Ball State has been a solid underdog until they played Ohio. But before the Ohio loss last week, Ball State had been a pretty good underdog catching points. I certainly lean in their direction, Ball State, in this game, +3. What do you think here, C-Mac?
Yeah, this seems like the ultimate kind of coin flip, these two teams. A little bit similar. Both don't have great quarterbacks. Maybe Paddock's a little bit, throws it a little bit more, obviously, but both these teams want to run it. Decent defenses. I think Miami, Ohio's is a little bit better, maybe. But this game, everything for it, like you talked about, for a bowl game. I know this total is low, but these two teams have been in the MAC. The only thing is, these totals and these unders, the Cardinals are last 25 or 20-7. The RedHawks all year have been under. They're 9-3. So, but they've had high totals. We're talking MAC totals probably in the 60s. Now we're catching a 45. But I think it's just going to be, kind of a dogfight type game. Cold weather, back and forth. Flip it that way. I lean under a little bit, at 45. So, I'm going to stay off on the other side. I think it could be anything. You mentioned it. Miami O, not very good lately, but good the last few years, at home. Yeah. And Ball State hasn't been good here. Last 5 times they've come here, 1-4 against the number. But the ultimate, coin flip, it seems like.